All right, everybody, welcome back to the next episode here of Placed in Shelter with your host, Ryan Catarozoli. Welcome, everybody, back. Glad to see a lot of the same faces. And look, we have a special guest with us today. This is Tenley. Tenley, can you say hi? Good job. And we actually brought Tenley on because we've got a bit of a surprise story for everybody. Tenley, what happened this morning with the cardinal?
In the house.
Oh, the cardinal got in the house. Was it a mama cardinal? And how did the cardinal get in the house?
I don't know.
Did you let the cardinal in the house? You did?
I did.
But baby cardinals aren't supposed to come in the house.
Yeah, I did. He's special.
Oh, they're special?
Yeah.
Now look who's in this picture right here. Who's that?
The bird.
Did you see the cardinal?
Yeah, and the bird.
Okay, we had a bit of an exciting morning. Somehow we ended up with the cardinal inside of the house. So it was a bit of an adventure getting them out. And Tenley thought it was wildly hilarious. Yeah, that's the one.
In the house.
That's right. Okay, well, all right, we're gonna get into the show. Can you say goodbye to everybody? Okay, where are you gonna go now? And what are you gonna do?
Me, Mommy, Chase, and me, you.
Okay, we're gonna play?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later. All right. Well, here we go. Let's get into the real show here. What we've got planned for today is what I'm going to call the fried food dilemma. This topic actually came in from one of our customers. I wasn't able to get confirmation, so I won't give a shout out here yet, but in the future episodes, if you'd like one, I will give them a shout out because it was a great topic. And, you know, a lot of the questions came up with, how can you hold fried product? It seems to be a rather large problem within the industry as a whole. So we've all had awesome fried chicken, chicken tenders, French fries, you know, a lot of those different things. And we've all had them directly out of the fryer, and they're fantastic. They've got a great crispy crunch. The inside's really great and moist. The problem we run into is after they've been held for 10, 15 minutes, that might even be an extreme, it tends to end up getting really, really bad. It tends to get really, really soggy. So why is it that I can hold a burger for an extended period of time, but any of the fried products that we have tend to only be able to be held for a short period of time? So in this talk, we're going to talk about three different things. So number one, why it's so hard to hold fried products. Number two, what can we do to help extend those hold times? And then number three, what are some products that are available on the market? So starting out, the problem that we run into is the combination of a crispy outside with a moist inside. And as that moisture is attacking essentially the crispiness on the outside, after a certain amount of time, that outside begins to get very soggy. And we've all had that experience before where we've had bad chicken. Yes, that's right. I know we've had it before. So this can be anything: mozzarella sticks, chicken wings, chicken tenders. Basically anything that's fried runs into these same properties. We have a moisture-filled inside and a nice crispy outside. So maybe the most impossible thing to hold is something, think of like a fried pickle spear, right? We've all had one of those fresh out of the fryer. You take a bite and your whole entire mouth is filled with insanely hot juices from the pickle because I couldn't wait to eat them. And then from that point on, my meal no longer tastes like anything. So the problem there, you can really see with the pickle, is it has so much moisture. So you even see the breading start to deteriorate and fall apart even as you're eating it directly out of the fryer. So that's one of the most impossible ones to do. So now we start talking about compounding the issue. When we start to hold product and we put it into an environment that's enclosed, the heat from the product then creates moisture within the cavity or within the container. And what's happening now is not only is the crispy crust being attacked from the inside, it's now being attacked from the outside. So you're really compounding the problem and creating an even shorter hold time. We've all seen it before when you get a to-go container and it has a clear lid on it, you can actually see the moisture collecting right on the top of it. So that being said, now we have problems with that. So let's move on here to talk about what can we actually do to help out prolong some of those. We've all had soggy fries before that look just like that. We actually have a couple of different things here I've got listed. So number one, to get you longer hold times with fried product. Number one, allow the excess oil to drain off of the product before it goes into wherever it's going to be held. Number two, allow the product to breathe and expel any additional moisture. So don't put it in a sealed cavity. Don't put it in a hotel pan with a cover on the top of it. Allow it to breathe and expel the most moisture that it can. Now, here's a 2-for-1. Place them in a single layer so they're not sitting on top of each other. And also, while they're sitting in a single layer, place them on a trivet or something that raises it up so that they're not sitting in any excess moisture or oil at the bottom of the pan. When you are talking about to go and putting them in packages, make sure the package is breathable. That's one of the reasons why you see in the picture here, fries are often served in an open container, because if they were placed inside of a closed container, they would deteriorate even faster and you would get those soggy fries. So now here's another point. We can add humidity, because you have to remember here, holding fried product is a little bit science and it's a little bit art. So you do want to add some humidity so that you can equalize the amount of moisture inside and outside so that you're not expelling one in either or direction. So the problem you're going to run into is that you need to experiment. There's not something that I can tell you is a rule of thumb, do it this way, it's going to work every single time. I actually heard a story from a chef earlier today that they brought in a large order of fries, and when they weighed it as frozen product versus weighing it after it was cooked, they ended up losing roughly 10 pounds off of what that bulk order actually was. That's how much humidity was taken out of the product when it was fried. So a fry is not a fry is not a fry. That goes for any of the fried products that we have. It will take some experimentation, whether it's a trivet that's holding them up, whether it's a different temperature, whether it's moving circulating air inside so that it's wicking away any moisture on the outside of the crust. Those will all give you longer hold times and attempt to extend as long as we can with fried products. So let's talk about some of the products that offer those. Keep in mind the things we can do and then look at the products we have to offer. Here's an example. Both of these are essentially the same, just a little bit larger footprint on one of them and a little bit more control between the front and the back. But the base idea remains the same. On the left, you see our low ray fry holding station. And what's happening here, you have an overhead ceramic heat. And without getting into the weeds too much, there is a certain emissivity that's given off of a ceramic heating element that is absorbed by the fried product better than it is off of a standard cal rod element. So it will absorb the infrared better. Now, you can also see better on the right picture, which is our multi-product warming station. There is a trivet. See all those little holes that are there? That's allowing any excess moisture, any excess oil to then drain and get below where the fried product is being held. This also has a thermostatically controlled base. So you're controlling top temperature, you're controlling bottom temperature, you're keeping it up on a trivet so that it's off of those things. As long as you follow through with draining the product properly and also then transporting it in an open type container or something that can breathe, this will truly extend your hold times. Here's another example. This looks like a drawer warmer, but for those of you that are experienced with our drawer warmers, you'll notice something different here. There's only a single control on the top, when typically you'll see controls next to each drawer. Now, we have introduced a new digital control that changes that theory a bit, but on this particular one, we set one temperature for the entire cavity, and then that is what's circulating air, so it's moving it throughout. And if you ever had Dave Ralston's presentation, he talks about evaporative cooling, and anytime that air is moving, it's actually then taking moisture and wicking it away from the product. So we've found that if you were to take your pan, single layer on a trivet or even a bakery cooling rack, something that raises it up just slightly, and with the moving air inside of this drawer warmer, we're able to extend those hold times on fried product. One other special note, this unit does come available in a 6-drawer version. So you have 2.5-inch deep pans as opposed to the standard 6-inch deep pans. So you do have some versatility there. And that also would enforce your employees to be using single layers because they wouldn't be able to stack them very deep. Last but not least, we do have our air curtain. I know we talked a lot about the front of the house air curtain. Hatco's been doing back of the house air curtains for a long time. And you'll notice on the left-hand side of this picture, you do see a water fill option. So you can add humidity to this. So you're creating a cabinet-like environment. You're controlling that environment, utilizing the air curtain, and you can also introduce some humidity. Now, again, there's a fine line with humidity. Too much humidity, you're going to be attacking that skin, that crust from the outside, and you're going to create a soggy crust. Too little humidity, and you're going to dry it out. And everybody's known the difference between a nice crispy piece of fried chicken and one that's dried out so it's almost hard. It's almost, you can tell that it's really dried out. So there is a fine line. You will have to experiment to find out what works best with your product. But as you can see in the picture, instead of having to open and close a door constantly, put this in the back of the house. You can throw an entire sheet pan right in. This comes in multiple sizes, 2-pan, 3-pan, 4-pan. It also has a pass-through option if you want to work between, the back of the house and the front counter area. You have a lot of versatility here with this particular unit. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up the conversation for today. We can go ahead and move into our question and answer. And just like last time, it's been working really well. If you go ahead and put your questions in the chat, you can find that at the very bottom of the screen. If you move your mouse, you'll see an icon that says chat, and it will then pull up the chat window. Go ahead and type your questions in there. Joe, I haven't been watching the chat. Has there been any questions that came up before this, before I asked?
No, all the questions coming forward should all be live. So I encourage everyone to ask a question and you can respond accordingly.
Fantastic. Does anybody have any questions? Bueller? If not, once again, I might have nailed the topic. I'll give it one more minute here and then we'll wrap it up with our typical closeout. But a minute feels really long when I'm not talking, so I'll just continue to ramble. I'll go ahead with the ending here. I appreciate everybody showing up. One reminder, oh, wait, here we go. What's your favorite fried chicken wing sauce? I am a medium buffalo sauce, medium hot sauce. Not too hot, but enough bite that I can feel it. So I'm not crazy. I've got some friends that can handle the insane challenges where I even look at it and I start crying. So I'm not that good. All right, we've got one more question. Does the ceramic element allow for more space between the element and the food product? It does. That's going to be a different topic that we talk about when we talk about choosing which element to put in the strip heater. Now, the fry stations and the multi-product warming stations, another added benefit of the ceramic element is the fact that it can be further from the product, which allows you more room to take your basket and dump it into the fry station or multi-product warming station. So it does have a couple of added benefits. So great question. Jimbo, does the drawer unit work well with fried shrimp? Like I said, it really depends on the actual product. You are going to have to play with it slightly. But what I've seen from a lot of the testing that we've done, if you follow all of those pointers, you will extend the hold time longer than you would traditionally get if you just put it in a heated cabinet or if you just closed it in a box and then allowed it to go out for to-go. So you will get extended hold times. Now, oftentimes we get that question and the issue becomes quality. Where does your customer's quality determine that it'll only hold for 10 minutes or it'll hold for an hour? So you could have the exact same product and two different chefs, two different operators, and one will say, that's good for 10 minutes, and the next one will say that's good for a half an hour. So there's a lot of variables that come into play here, but what we found is from standard doing nothing, following these guidelines, using these pieces of equipment will extend the hold time. What that is, up to the user. All right, we've got another good one. Thomas, have you ever tried Rocky Mountain oysters? Yes, I have. I've only had them deep fried, and I didn't mind them at all. I thought they were delicious. So great questions today, guys. with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode. I truly appreciate everybody coming along. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always catch us live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Central Time. And please like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and hit the bell notification. That'll let you know every time that we post a new video. And those are all easy ways to let us know you're enjoying the content. So thank you again and enjoy your evening.